two coolant samples, same car, 2 years apart. One is fresh, bright green, clear, doing its job. The other one is what came out of the same engine after 30,000 miles of neglect. Brown, acidic, full of corrosion particles that have been circulating through the water pump, the radiator, and the heater core every single day. The dealer wants $180 to fix that, and the manufacturer, Mazda's own technical documentation, says the way most dealers fix it might make things worse. Hi, I'm Stefan. I spent 15 years inside dealerships performing coolant flushes on vehicles whose manufacturers had already documented why that specific procedure was problematic. Nobody showed us the bulletin. Nobody changed the service menu. The $180 line item stayed exactly where it was. Today I'm showing you what coolant actually does, why the flush the dealer sells you is the wrong procedure for most vehicles, and the $5 test that tells you the truth before you spend $1. What coolant actually does and how it fails. Your engine coolant does two things that most drivers don't fully appreciate. First, it transfers heat. Coolant circulates between the engine block and the radiator, absorbing combustion heat and releasing it through the radiator fins. Without this cycle, your engine reaches destructive temperatures within minutes. Second, and this is the part nobody talks about, it protects metal. Fresh coolant contains a carefully balanced package of corrosion inhibitors, pH stabilizers, and anti-cavitation additives. These compounds coat the internal surfaces of your cooling system, aluminum heads, iron blocks, copper radiator cores, and prevent them from reacting with each other and with the coolant itself. When those additives deplete, which happens gradually over 30,000 to 50,000 miles, depending on the coolant type, the pH drops. The coolant turns acidic. And acidic coolant doesn't just stop protecting metal, it starts attacking it. Aluminum components are the first casualty. Your water pump housing, your thermostat housing, your heater core, all aluminum, all slowly corroding from the inside when coolant turns acidic. You don't see it happening. You see it on the repair bill. Water pump failure on a typical modern vehicle, $300 to $600. Heater core replacement, $600 to $1,200, both preventable, both downstream of a fluid that costs $15 to maintain correctly. What the dealer's flush actually does. Here's the service as performed in most shops. And the technician connects a pressurized flushing machine to the cooling system. The machine forces a cleaning solution through the system under pressure, typically 15 to 20 psi, to dislodge scale, deposits, and old coolant. The old fluid is evacuated. Fresh coolant is added under pressure. The theory is sound. The execution is where it gets complicated. Cooling system seals, particularly water pump seals, radiator hose connections, and heater core fittings, are designed to handle the system's normal operating pressure, which runs between 13 and 16 pounds per square inch on most vehicles. A pressurized flush machine runs at or above that threshold. On a cooling system with seals that are already aged, which describes most vehicles over 60,000 miles, that additional pressure stress can initiate leaks that weren't there before the service. I had a customer once. Actually, let me tell you about two of them because the pattern was too consistent to be coincidence. Both came back within 30 days of a coolant flush with new leaks at the water pump or radiator connections. Different vehicles, different technicians, same outcome. I mentioned it to the service manager. He said it was coincidence. I'm less sure about that now. Here's what Mazda actually published. Mazda Technical Service Bulletin SSP-9 5-002, issued to certified Mazda technicians, specifically advises against high-pressure coolant flushing on multiple model lines, citing the risk of seal damage and coolant system integrity compromise. Honda's official maintenance documentation for multiple model years specifies drain and fill as the correct coolant service procedure, not flush, drain, and fill. Toyota's maintenance guidelines for the iForce and two GR engine families, found in engines across Camry, Highlander, and Tacoma platforms, explicitly state that high-pressure flushing is not recommended due to the risk of disturbing scale deposits that are structurally stabilizing corroded areas. These aren't independent mechanics making recommendations. These are the engineers who designed the systems telling their own dealers how to service them. And yet coolant flushes remain one of the most commonly recommended and most profitable maintenance upsells in dealership service departments across the country. I want to be honest about something that took me a long time to admit. I performed coolant flushes on Mazda vehicles for 3 years before I ever saw that TSB. It wasn't hidden exactly what it is. It was in the technical database that every dealership has access to. I just never looked for it. Nobody told me to look for it. The service was on the menu, the machine was in the bay, and the procedure was in the training manual. The manufacturer's counter recommendation existed in a database I had access to every single day. I never opened it for this specific procedure because I had no reason to question what was already generating revenue. A 2017 Mazda CX-5, 60,000 miles, came in for a coolant flush. Service advisor recommended it at the mileage interval. We performed it, car went home. 32 days later, water pump seal leak. The customer paid $340 for the repair. I pulled the service history. The flush was the last thing done to that cooling system before the seal failed. I can't prove causation, but I know what I saw, and I know that I never questioned the connection at the time, because questioning it meant questioning the service that was paying my hours. I left that dealership 8 months later. That case stayed with me. The right procedure and how to do it. Engine cold, pressure cap off, always. The cooling system holds residual pressure even hours after shutdown. A hot system cap removal can cause severe burns. Step 1, test first. Before touching the cooling system, test the coolant with a pH test strip or a coolant test strip, available at AutoZone for $4 to $6. Dip the strip into the coolant reservoir. Compare to the chart. pH above 7.5 and inhibitor dots still active. Your coolant is good. Don't let anyone sell you a flush on fluid that tests clean. pH below 7 or inhibitor dots depleted. The coolant needs changing, but not a flush. A drain and fill. Step 2. Drain and fill, not flush. Open the petcock at the bottom of the radiator or disconnect the lower radiator hose. Let the coolant drain completely by gravity. No pressure, no machine. This removes 60 to 70% of the old fluid. Refill with the correct coolant for your vehicle, not universal coolant. Toyota vehicles use Toyota Super Long Life coolant. Honda uses Honda Type 2. Mazda uses Mazda FL22. Using the wrong coolant type degrades the inhibitor package and can cause electrolytic corrosion between dissimilar metals. Run the engine to operating temperature with the heater set to max. This circulates the fresh coolant through the heater core. Top off the reservoir as needed. Step 3. Repeat once if heavily degraded. On a system where coolant has been neglected past 60,000 miles, do a second drain and fill after 1,000 miles of normal driving. The first fill flushes the worst of the degraded fluid. The second brings the pH and inhibitor concentration to proper levels throughout the system. And total cost, $15 to $25 in coolant. 1 hour of your time, zero pressure on aged seals. Has a shop ever recommended a coolant flush on your car? Drop what they quoted you and how many miles you had on the clock. I want to show people exactly how widespread this upsell is across the country. This channel drops new videos every Wednesday and Sunday. Each one covers something the industry profits from you not knowing. Subscribe and hit the bell, because the next one might be the most expensive mistake you haven't made yet, when a flush is actually justified. There are situations where a drain and fill isn't enough. If your cooling system has significant scale buildup, visible as white or gray deposits inside the reservoir or on hose connections, a chemical flush using a diluted flush solution added to the system, and run for 1 heat cycle before draining is appropriate. This is different from a pressurized machine flush. It uses the system's own circulation pump to distribute the cleaner at normal operating pressure with no external force on the seals. If your coolant has been mixed with the wrong type, creating the sludge that happens when green and orange coolants are combined, a chemical flush followed by multiple drain and fills is the correct remediation. And if you've never touched the cooling system on a vehicle you just bought with unknown service history, test it first. If the pH is below 6 and the fluid is visibly degraded, the chemical flush approach is warranted. Just not the pressurized machine version. 2 samples, same car, 2 years apart. The one on the right cost one driver $340 in water pump damage that followed a $180 flush that the manufacturer already said shouldn't be performed that way. The drain and fill costs $20 and takes an hour. The test strip that tells you whether you even need it costs $5. And the TSB that documents the risk has been in the technical database since the mid-90s. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss what the industry doesn't want you to know. And share this video. 1 second of your time might save the next driver from a $340 repair that followed a $180 service they never needed. Has a shop quoted you a coolant flush recently? Drop the amount and your mileage in the comments. I read every single one. Next time, there's a belt in your engine with an expiration date that your dealer has never mentioned. When it snaps, and it will snap without warning, without sound, the repair bill starts at $3,000. I'm going to show you exactly which cars have it when it needs replacing, and what happens if you wait too long. You don't want to miss that one. I'll see you in the next one.